What's going on, everybody? Thanks for joining if you're here with me. I think I got some pretty solid streaming going on here, but with some new equipment I got, I'm not able to share my screen through my HDMI, which is kind of a bummer, but I still have my iPad, so I'm gonna make that work. Mercury retrograde, making progression actually, because I'm streaming in 1080p, 60 frames a second, which I've never been able to do before. And in the test I did last night, I didn't drop a single frame in 10 minutes, so it should look nice. So the quality's there. I just gotta figure out why my HDMI won't share to this computer. But we'll hook up the old iPad if anybody wants a reading. And we'll just go about it that way, because I have the ways and means to at least do that with my app on my iPad. Nice to see you. Hello, hello. Oh, looks like I am going to drop some frames. Maybe, maybe not. Huh. It says no data coming to YouTube, but my streaming software says everything's legit. Hopefully you guys can still see me. Hi, Vet. Maybe it's just on YouTube's end. Did it drop out? Oh, what up, Marie? Thanks for joining. I'm gonna do some donation readings if anybody wants. I'm definitely having some Mercury retrograde technical difficulties with new equipment. Got a new computer, which is dope. It's really helping this whole process. You can go last. I get paid in an hour. Oh, that's dope. Yeah, we could do that for you. You could see and hear me perfectly? Cool. It was just on my screen that it wasn't showing up, because on my streaming software on OBS, it hasn't dropped a single frame. Excellent connection. Crushing it. So, that's dope. What up, Mark? What's up, brother? Appreciate you. All right. We could totally do this. For whatever reason, Waking Gaia Oracle, your name is slipping my mind right now, and I do apologize for that, because I definitely am familiar with your name, but right now it's not coming to me. You can donate preferably through Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App, and there are links in the description below for those. YouTube takes like 30% if you do a super chat, which, I mean, it's convenient. Super chat's definitely a viable option, but if you actually want to pay me and not YouTube, then those other sources are better. Nice. Yeah, it is nice. It's good. I hope everybody's doing well. Hope you said rabbit rabbit. It's October 1st. It's October. Let's not forget about October. Woo. I apologize. I will be back in 1 second. I know I'm not a good liver. I'll be right back. Sorry. I was You did say rabbit rabbit good. It's always good to get that. Sorry. I kept moving this back and back because I realized once I got set up that I wasn't being able to share my screen. But oh yeah, Angie. I knew that. I knew it was an A and I just kept I didn't want to say the wrong thing. So thank you for reminding me. Oh, thank you so much. All right, sweet. We'll get into that. I just had the bright idea of how I can share my screen without using my switching software. I can do OBS. So that's what I'm going to do. Hopefully. That's a little sketchy to be doing during the live. But we'll deal with it later. I'll just use my iPad. And we'll just do it that way. All right. So who was first? It looks like Marie was first, unless I know Angie mentioned it. A card reading. All right, Yvette, we can do that. All right, Marie did send first, so I do have a Cash App. It's #, fixedairmoon. So Marie, we can do you. I just need your birth info. You're welcome to put it here, or you could send it on Instagram if you wanted. It's up to you. But I do put it up on the screen, unless you don't want me to. Perfect. St. John, New Brunswick. St. John, New Brunswick. So much easier on the computer software to find this stuff. I will hash that out eventually. It worked last night. I don't remember what I did to make it work. Maybe it's just my cables going bad. I don't know. St. John, where are you? Or maybe it would just be New Brunswick? Did the cat chew on the table? Hi Shreya. No, there's not a minimum amount. It's just a donation, so you know. Whatever you see fit. Fredericton or New Brunswick. I'll try New Brunswick first. must be Fredericton. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, Fredericton, New Brunswick. Sweet. There. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. There we go. There we go. All right. Marie, does that look right to you? I don't know why it says 145. Is that what you said? Oh, you did. Okay. Thank you, Ange. Love you too. Oh, thank you, Shreya. So, if this looks correct, January 31st, 1980, 145, then we'll get going. All right. I love your Aquarius channel, by the way. Marie does a bunch of Aquarius reels. So if you don't follow her, the Aqua Marie on Instagram, check them out. If you like Aquarius funny jokes, because they're very funny. So, got your Aquarius, 8th house, ninth house sun. All right, well, I mean, we'll start with your sun because it's at 11 degrees and it's been dealing with Saturn for the last few months. Saturn retrograded at 14 degrees on your sun, Gemini rising. So we're looking at your third house, fourth house in this porphyry chart that I'm running, where that's really affecting sort of the light. It can, Saturn on the sun's not necessarily the worst time. It's definitely a time of dedication. It can feel like you have to really push. You really have to do something right now. And a lot of this comes through maybe communication. I love that you started, really putting out the reels, really putting out things that excite you with the sun too, and putting the light out there, and through the communication. But it's also your mind. It's like Saturn's having you make like really smart mental decisions. And with Saturn now back in your 8th house, it like hit the sun, came off of it, and now it's back in your 8th, getting ready to come back towards your sun and your Mercury. So it's like a rehash out of areas that you had to re-understand and reevaluate where the transformation's going. So it's kind of a deep dive. Like Saturn makes you get really down to the intense things, and being with your sun, it's like the intense things that light you up. Sun in the 11th, or sun in the 9th house, I'm sorry, is like, definitely let's go explore. Let's kind of like, let's go see what's out there. Let's rise up. So through this time, it's really, with Saturn, it's kind of like an 18-month, process. So it's not like just boom, 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 or it's just bang, if you will. It's kind of like drawn out things that kind of like are big grow up moments. So this is helping your mind understand. This is, bringing up maybe restriction in community, with the sun ruling your 3rd house. But I think, you have just choices to make about really being in your truth, really shining your light in the most authentic form. And that's going to help you a lot. And you are dealing with, Uranus in Taurus right now, which I can pull the transits up if you want to see. But Uranus in Taurus is going to come back to 10 degrees, where it's been for a while, squaring your sun. So not only are you dealing with Saturn on your sun, but wow, that Uranus in your 11th house, getting ready to finish up there over this next year and come into your 12th. This is, I think, taking you to the next level. Uranus squares are, shocking. They're unexpected things that can show up in our life, but it's definitely putting a ton of pressure on your mind. So I think Uranus is trying to have you learn a lot and do the unconventional. And wow, 100. Not sure what that is, but thank you very much, Shreya. That just popped up. I will definitely get to you. Um, it's like unconventional thoughts. Like this could really help you channel too in a lot of ways. Uranus can is like the higher mind, so it can really squaring your sun like it is. This can, bring really radical changes, but it's also helping you get into the future and like tap into your genius. So you want to embrace change. It's definitely bringing up community aspects. It's definitely bringing up friendships. You're finding like who's really like going into your future and who isn't, who's really matching up. And, it's like these smart decisions and like fact based decisions that you want to focus on as Saturn comes back into your ninth house. And, the lesson kind of becomes then it's like using your higher mind, which Mercury in Aquarius, you're tapped in. That's a very strong, smart Mercury. And that Mercury is your chart ruler. So not only is this affecting, your mind and then Mercury in your mind, but this is like literally like affecting your identification with your mind and how you use it with people, to break free. I think that's the ultimate goal, is like how to liberate yourself right now. And then Saturn's going to kind of teach you how you have to intuitively navigate those waters. And you have Venus in Pisces in your 10th. Very creative. It's square Neptune. So you're in your Neptune square right now as well. Wow, that's not like, that can definitely bring up anxiety. That can, make things foggy. So you have this like interesting shift right now of your logical mind getting these upgrades from Uranus and trying to go farther. And then you have Neptune that's like trying to spiritually have you get into that place, but it's almost like there's no substance. It's like, why do I know these things? What is going on? So there's, I think, a lot of knowing. And even Jupiter coming back into your ninth house where Jupiter loves to be, it's like there's a lot of just knowing that you're channeling right now. And you don't want to think you're crazy. Don't get too anxious. It's, your intuition's off the charts right now. So you want to embrace that because, with Neptune or 12th house transits, which Uranus is going to come into your 12th house, it's like really embrace what is ending so that spiritually new beginnings can start. And you kind of have to go with the flow and kind of surrender. And Uranus in the 12th is like surrendering to completely out of left field things like that you never saw coming into your life. So those are big squares. Neptune is, intercepted. Pisces is intercepted in your chart. So this is career based. There's karma in your life that's getting dealt with right now because of that Neptune square that has to do with your direction, your mission, and like what does that look like, and can you surrender to that mission? Because having an intercepted Virgo and Pisces is like really unsure, like doing a lot of work in the physical world and also doing a lot of work in the unseen and in the spiritual world. And it's like you gotta get into both, but you also want to follow the dreams. So follow your dreams, see where that's going to take you. Venus is going to get, Neptune's going to come back to 20 degrees and station. So between Uranus heading towards a sextile to your Venus and Neptune finishing up with your Venus, that was really, especially Neptune on your Venus last year, like that Venus rules your 12th house. That was like the biggest spiritual surrender probably ever over the last 2.5, 3 years that you just had to make within yourself to find beauty and to connect with relationships that were on that level as well. And Scorpio season's coming. You're going to get some squares with Saturn on your, coming back towards your sun, and Uranus coming back towards your sun. So, this next month and a half is definitely going to bring some intensity around community and around, You're going to feel like some of that intensity ramp back up, where maybe it felt like it was kind of cooling down just a little bit. It might ramp up, but it doesn't mean that it's bad. Like that intensity can be beautiful, and it can really unlock a lot of creativity as well for you. It'll be making great aspects to your Venus. So like spiritually, like you're getting some really good stuff. Mars in Virgo, oppose your Venus. Yeah, you have like a T-square to your Neptune, really, with Venus and Mars. So very interesting. You also were born with a Mars retrograde. So Mars retrograde is interesting because Mars always wants us to kind of push forward, go, 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 go. And Mars retrograde is like, oh, maybe I should think about this, especially in Virgo. It's like, ooh, I better have this analytically figured out before I just jump into it. So it kind of like can slow things down, but it's a smart Mars and it's a hardworking Mars, and it definitely wants to, bring service. Like Mars in Virgo is a well-oiled machine, but it is in your fourth house. So it's almost like if you're not kind of moving forward and you're just getting stagnant, you can feel like you're digging yourself deep into a hole, but you do have Mars Jupiter conjunct, and that's a great aspect. Even with like a fall Jupiter, it's like, okay, the practical things are going to bring the dreams. So it's like staying really present in what's practical and right in front of you and real, and putting the work into what your dreams are. And that's going to help your Venus in your 12th house a lot. And with the square from Venus and Mars to your Neptune, like a lot of it is in your intuitive sight and your beauty, and like projecting the beauty out there through your work and through your service work too, with Neptune in the 6th. Like you want to, bring a spiritual service. Let's see what your progressions look like. I want to see that progressed moon. Oh, you got your progressed moon in Aquarius now. So yeah, you're extra Aquarius. And you were born on a full moon with a Leo moon. So, and you have your moon, your progressed moon, and your moon in exact opposition right now. So this is definitely high emotional, tension. And the progressed moon moves a degree every month. And when it's in a sign, it's there for 2.5 years. And it really is this pull to work in this area. And it's kind of like extremely Aquarian right now. So connecting with people, a lot of like learning to disconnect from emotion. And then with your moon in Leo, it's like, okay, kind of got to take a step back, maybe just a little bit from just your point of view to see things a little bit more objectively. And it's going to come to your sun. And it's just a lot of third house activation. I think you're realizing so much right now about where the future is going, where things are going to expand. But progressed moon in the 8th house is definitely a deep dive into your own psychology of your emotions. And, it's endings and beginnings in the 8th house. So it's like what was let go of, so that, you can rise up like the phoenix with the progressed moon only 2 months away from your 9th house and your sun, of like some really powerful emotion, so very, very powerful there. And it's also square your progressed Venus over here. So it's 2 months away from that. Big deal. A lot of emotion around relationships right now, and communication, and definitely who's around you right now. I think that that's where the beauty's at, and just making sure that aligns with you spiritually is so important. And that's what's going to bring you in the abundance you want. That's going to be very grounding. So positive there. It's like you gotta let the things go that aren't bringing you the best value right now. That's going to bring you the ultimate connection. That's going to bring you the ultimate happiness. How do you navigate your sun, oppose your moon at a daily battle? Yeah, I mean, that is a daily battle. It's a full moon. It's always high emotion. So the tides of emotion are always pretty high. Of course, you're an Aquarius sun, but it's like the battles between your value and like other people's values, and how to, because your moon is in the 2nd, but your sun happens to be in the 9th. So it's not like they're in the 2nd, 8th house. So I think your sun really wants to find the happiness of connection, but your moon's like fixed on what really lights you up. But then your Aquarius sun's like, okay, I I need to connect. I need to, make win-wins. So there's the battle of like your own personal emotional needs and what makes you feel really comfortable and secure, and then how do you objectify that and not be stubborn. You got a lot of fixed energy. Even though you have a Gemini rising, you're more learning how to be a Gemini and kind of switch thing and go with the flow and switch hats if you need to. But your sun and your moon definitely are like, okay, I know what I like. I know what lights me up. And your son's like, well, I should probably share this wisdom with the world too at the same time. And you have Chiron in the 11th house too. So, you know, a lot of the wounds is like sharing your values with everybody, and also really realizing your value as part of the collective and being in society. And, some of your greatest wisdom is with helping society progress and really showing society what solid value is. So yeah, it's a tug of war between your soul, which wants to illuminate in Aquarius manners, and your own like emotional foundation within you, kind of wanting attention, wanting maybe just the ultimate love, especially Leo in the second house. Kind of just like the ultimate goodness that it can have security in. And it's also like, let's go expand and see what else is out there and connect more dots, connect to more people. um, Maybe I got to let more people in, so it's like being vulnerable too. Hopefully that was helpful. If you have any other questions, I'll answer them too. Thank you, Angie. You're so welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate you. What else? What else? What else? What else? Yvette wanted a card reading, and Angie, and a love reading for Shreya. Okay, so Yvette wanted a card reading. All right. October regarding school. Let's see what we get. Let's see what we get. What is going on for October regarding school for Yvette? What's this looking like? Yeah, any advice we can get. Oh, and Marie, if you're still here, this just popped into my head for some reason shuffling these cards. Your progressed moon's on Saturn, right now too. So there's just a lot of Saturnian influence right now, which is all about big decisions that are taking you to the next stage of your growth. And especially with Saturn in the 8th, it's like you're reaching an evolutionary point of a graduation. So big decisions that are very important, you really want to make those. They're going to help you even if they seem heavy or hard. So I just want to say that. And now back to this reading, because that just popped in really heavily right now. All right. What is up with school for Yvette? School in October. School in October. 4 of Cups in reverse. There's something maybe trying to like come in right now that's trying to show you maybe another way that might be more satisfactory. Are you pushing maybe something away right now or was there an option that showed up that you were like second guessing or didn't feel like emotionally comfortable with? Um, What'd we get that for? Of Oh yeah, you know what? Whatever that option was, I would, it's Mercury retrograde. Rethink it, because the Ace of Coins is like, they could be very, you know, positive for a new, wherever the direction's going. So if something came up that was different maybe than you planned and it has you a little uneasy, emotionally, or just not sure, um, maybe you do want to investigate that, because it might just take you on the direction that you really ultimately want to go. It's like both of these cards are so funny for you, because they both have God's hand coming out trying to deliver something. So if you're seeing something show up this month, or if you've already seen something kind of show up, this is the gift. Like, there's something that wants to show up, and I feel like you could have a natural tendency to push this away, whatever it might be, because maybe the emotions aren't sure of it. Um, but you want to accept this gift, because it might be weird. It might be different, but it's going to be new, and it's going to bring some goodness. The Ace of Pentacles, right? Ace of Coins is definitely like a fresh start for a job, a fresh start for career. School could be that. So just see where it goes. I think a new beginning's trying to come in, and it's very divine. It's very meant. Oh, you got the King of, what is that? Fire? Must be. Oh, this is the Emperor. These cards don't have words on it. Yeah, the Emperor. I love that. That you just have to delegate your life in the way that you feel is going to bring the goodness. I think also it's courage to take this new route and this gift that shows up, because this is where you can really sit on the throne of your power. It's almost like a decision that maybe other people aren't interested in. You kind of have to really get selfish almost with Emperor energy. It's Aries. So it's like, really, really make sure that whatever's showing up, you're making the choice for what's going to delegate and put your life in the direction that you're feeling like that queen in your life, and you're feeling like you're in charge. And what's the advice? 9 of Wands, upright. The advice is that you don't want to feel like you're stuck. Keep progressing. There's something new coming in. Don't, feel like you're kind of stuck in the mud or too beat up. Like, this is a time to progress yourself and keep pushing, because that's going to give you that authority, both emotionally and creatively, for whatever is trying to come in and bring you some abundance. That Ace of Pentacles, like, there's a gift coming. So I would say be open and don't feel stuck. And getting this this 4 of Cups in reverse first is like, it's always like pushing the gift away. Or maybe you've pushed the gift. Maybe it's something that's coming back around with a Mercury retrograde and all these retrogrades that you've pushed away in the past, that you now know you don't want to push away any longer, because you have that authority now to have the goodness, and you know that you're ready to attract it in. So this is definitely a time for you to push, take really powerful authority. What's the overall? 5 of Wands. Might cause some conflict in your life, but this conflict is important. You're going to have to, break through. So whatever it is, it's trying to give you amazing gifts and abundance. It's going to feel like it's going to make you tired. It's going to feel like there's conflict going, but sometimes we need a little conflict in life to push through, to show how powerful we are. And I hope that is helpful for you. What do we got here? Yeah, I've been putting off a scholarship I don't think I qualified for. I have to ask a professor for a letter of recommendation. I don't like asking people. You need to ask for that recommendation. No doubt. And it's making you feel like Like you said, like you don't like asking for it. So ask for it. It's probably going to get you in. It's going to get you the gift. So, try not to be too stubborn, of course. We want to let people help us. We got to be able to receive right now. It's very important too, just astrologically. So I do hope that was helpful. Let me check and see if I got those. Thank you, Angie. You're next. I'm gonna do Shreya first, and then get to you. You did say you wanted to go last. So. October or the rest of 21? Yes. May 14th. Delhi. Hopefully this chart is correct. Just want to get your okay first before I go. Oh, hi Lindsay. I'm so happy to see you here. I'm going to reach out to you later. I want to hopefully talk on the phone. So nice to see you. Yes, looks like it. Absolutely. Okay. Great. Well, you're a 23-degree Taurus, so you're going through a Jupiter square this month. You just had Venus oppose your sun. Uranus got really close to your Jupiter. You're also a moon in Taurus. So this month is heavily, revolved around trying to expand out. This is about your soul expression needing to like blow up with Jupiter. Jupiter's looking at it, your sun square in the eye. It's like, hey, it's going to station at 22 degrees. So you're in this long drawn out Jupiter sun square. This is trying to make things happen, trying to help you learn more, but you have to like do the thing. You have to go and like look for the knowledge or express and shine in the wisdom, shine in what you know is valuable, especially for the collective or for society or with people in your own sort of individuated, authentic way of what value is with Taurus sun in the 11th house. And your sun rules the second house, so even more so. Like this is really about maybe you sharing your wisdom of what's valuable with people. So I think that you have a lot of wisdom that needs to be shared about what feels good. And you know what, with the second house being activated too, like not only is that about just value and physical value, it's also your own self-love. It's your self-worth, really finding your confidence, really thinking, wow, I'm a really beautiful piece of this collective, and I want to share that beauty. So that's a big one. Saturn's going to come to your sun by the end of next year. And Jupiter's kind of blowing these things up a little bit about how you can expand and share and, kind of be a teacher by realizing how valuable you are, of course, to attract in some really, good things, some abundance, hopefully. And then Saturn's going to be like, all right, did you do it? Did you do the work? So if things are popping up right now and trying to expand in your life based on whether it's manifestations of physical things or connections in life, um, this is a good time. Yeah, self-care. Definitely a good time for self-care. Happy to see that. What else is going on here? What else is going on here? You have Pluto in your fifth house natally. So that's a big deal. Pluto in the fifth is very important. You know, you kind of have a special destiny, but it's not just about you. You have to share it with people. You know, so share sort of, your specialness with the world. Share that creativity, and maybe don't just fixate on yourself. I think that's the paradox in your chart with a lot of 11th house and even Taurus is maybe being really fixated on what you value or what you need to feel good. You know, you've done work up till now. You're in this space now, so it's about really sharing that too. And Saturn square your Pluto right now as well. So you do have Pluto and Jupiter in opposition, so Saturn's making a T square to that energy. That's big time activation of your fifth house. So you have a ton of creativity right now that you don't want to block yourself from. You don't want to feel like you're taking out, you got to come back to where you feel like you can create. And where you feel like you can create, that's what needs to be shared. That's what needs to be expressed. That's where the expanse needs to come out to the collective as well. And it's going to make, Saturn's going to make really good aspects to your Mercury as well, which rules your 12th house. So there's definitely some this is like the next level spiritually and being able to give that message. So whatever the message is that you've been cultivating and the wisdom that you've cultivated, this is kind of like, all right, let's go. Mercury's, you have a very strong Mercury. I want to say Mercury doesn't love the 12th house, but it's the Lord of the 12th in its home sign of Gemini. So gosh, you have a natural ability to put things in order and to factualize things that don't have linear, it's a very strong linear and also dreamy Mercury that can go into the intuition. So that's one of your greatest gifts in a lot of ways. So bring that out. Don't block yourself from it. You have Jupiter squaring your sun, like I said, but it is square your Mars, so you have that Mars-Sun square. You're an action-oriented person. You need to go, and it's about it going for the excitement. It's about moving forward and progressing for your uniqueness, really expressing your unique ways forward with Mars and the Sun, about your personal values. And Jupiter's there too. Mars rules your 10th house, so this is definitely, Jupiter's blowing up like a big direction right now for your career. So this October, definitely a big time. If you have decisions to make or you have big ideas about how to progress forward, share your value, connect with society, connect with people in your own unique way, this is it. Big things can take place. It could be a very strong October for you. Definitely. Yeah, you have Neptune on your North Node in Pisces too. Your destiny really is about using your intuitive knowing, and there's a surrender aspect too. You came from a South Node in Virgo, so you're sharp, you're smart, you're here, but not everything needs a fact. Remember to trust your intuition. Neptune's the spiritual mission kind of just got activated for you because I think you're really meant to be a guide spiritually for people. So this might be a time where you're taking the necessary steps to do that in your life in some way, shape, or form with a legacy with your 10th house being activated. So the 10th house brings responsibilities, it brings integrity, and it's responsible decisions about the direction you want to go. Of course, you had your Saturn return a couple years ago, so that was a big direction. That brought up a lot of relationship stuff, and Saturn's back in your 7th house, kind of making sure you made the right calls in relationships in your life so that you can kind of take this transformation to the next level. You're a natural investigator with Mars in the 8th house. You want to get in to the truth of the matter and get deep into all aspects of reality, especially Aquarius, the weird stuff, the occult stuff, the magic. And Saturn's going to be like, hey, did you do that? did you go into the deeper stuff too? So very positive there. So yeah, relationships, decisions with people, very important. Groups, people, friends. Your Venus is gonna get squared by Neptune down the road. It's pretty safe at the moment. So see where your progressed moon's at. Let's see what you're saying too before I get too much into this. Seem to be heading. Oh, PhD program. Yeah, there's higher learning with Jupiter. So yeah, definitely forcing you to learn more. I think you're going to be a great teacher with the wisdom you acquire. Thank you. Let's see where that progressed moon's at. Well, you have your progressed sun in the 12th now, so it can be slippery in the 12th, but at the same